Hey guys, it's Sam. This week's video is something that I've never done before, but I really want to get into doing videos like this, so I'm going to give it a try. Today I'm going to teach you how to make shirts like these with the floral letters on them. Both of these cost less than $20 each. I think it depends on what fabric you buy. So before you start, you're going to need to make sure that you have everything you need. First, you need a plain shirt or a crew neck or whatever you'd like to put it on. And this I got at the craft store for like $5, this white shirt. And this I got at Walmart. It was in the winter and they were a bunch on sale, so I bought like every color. It was about $7, but I don't think they have them now because it's summer, but I'm gonna find a couple places you can buy them online for cheap, and I'll put the link in the description for you. The next thing you're gonna need, which is probably the most important part, is fabric glue. Also gonna need a good pair of scissors. If you have a good pair of fabric scissors, that'll be really helpful. It'll make it easier for you and a lot faster, because I learned that fabric takes a really long time to cut with bad scissors. And then you're going to need your fabrics. You're going to need two. So you're going to need a plain fabric for the back and then a floral fabric for on top. Now, I made the mistake of buying a really thin, kind of silky floral fabric. I would recommend you don't do that. I say try to buy a thicker one, or at least one that's a little sturdier than what I got. I actually made both of these in different ways. I mean, they both have the same basic structure. This one took a little bit longer than this one, but I think this one looks a little bit better. So I'll show you how to do both ways and you can decide which one you want to do. Also, a little disclaimer, don't expect for it to be perfect on your first try. I made this was my third try. Just try to make a circle once or twice, test it out, see how your fabric is working, things like that, because you're gonna buy more fabric than you need most likely. And it's okay to make mistakes. I made a ton while making mine the first time, so don't stress it. The first method I'm going to show you is the 5 Seconds of Summer logo, and this one is pretty easy. It probably won't take you as long as the second one, but I don't think it necessarily looks as good. The first thing that you're going to need to do is print out your logo, and it's definitely best if it's one color, and also it's better to print it out on cardstock because it'll be easier to work with the fabric. So just print that out on cardstock and cut it out. The next thing that you're going to have to do is get your floral fabric and turn it to the back side so that you won't be able to see the pencil through it. Take your letters and trace them with pencil and then cut them out. I had to redo this a few times because I wanted to make sure I got as much of the floral in it as possible. So whenever you're cutting out your letters, make sure that you're getting as much of the pattern in as you possibly can. And this is what part of the 5 Sauce logo looked like whenever it was finished cutting out. The next thing you're going to have to do is turn to the backs of that and put some of your fabric glue on it and glue it to the back of the solid fabric. And then basically your last step, you can trace the border with a pencil if you'd like, but with the border of the solid fabric around your design, you're going to cut out the whole design. And then what you're going to do is glue the design to your shirt or your sweatshirt and you're done. I know this might be a little bit self-explanatory, but I think that the second one is a little more complicated and I wanted to give you an easier thing to do if you wanted to try to practice doing it this way first. The second method, which is a little more complicated, is the TRXYE logo. I originally tried to do this with the box around it, but the letters were a little too small, so I took out the box. So you're going to do the same thing and print out your letters and cut them out. Then you're going to, again, turn to the back side of the fabric and the back side of the letters and trace them. You want to make sure that you're tracing them backwards so that whenever you cut them out, they're the right way and not backwards. You don't want to do it twice. So just do that. And also, this time you're going to cut it out with a little border around it because you need to have it big enough to fold over. So you can look here. You can also trace a border around it, make it with pencil, something like that. But it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be folded over, just as long as you know how much space you have to fold over. I hope that makes sense. So then what I did is that I had to actually fold over these with an iron because using the glue was
didn't work with my really thin fabric. So you can use an iron if yours is too thin like mine was, but I recommend you use glue. It's like 10 times easier. You're just going to fold over those little edges, and you can cut off the corners, as you see that I did on the bottom of the tee there. It just takes out some of the excess fabric and makes it easier for you to fold it over, gives it a little bit of a cleaner look. I recommend you practice this once or twice, as it took me a few times to figure out exactly how to do it, and it's harder to do with the curved letters, but whatever is easiest for you, you can do that. So again, like last time, you're going to glue your floral fabric to the back of the solid fabric, and then you're going to draw a border of the solid fabric around, but you're actually going to cut again with a border around the border so that you can fold it over. And the reason that I think this makes it look so much better is that there's a shadow between the floral and the solid fabric, and it makes it stand out a little bit more than in the original one I showed you. So you're going to do the same thing again, and this time you just use fabric glue to glue over the edges. And again, I recommend you practice once or twice because it took me a few times to get it, but I really think it looks a lot better whenever you put it on the sweatshirt because it has that shadow under it. And then all you're going to do is glue that to your sweatshirt and make sure to let it dry for a day or so before you actually wear it, and you're done. I like the way this one turned out a little bit better, but whichever one is easier for you and you think you're going to be able to execute is the one that you should do.
Alright, so that is it for this week's video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. I have lots of ideas. I'm thinking lots of band shirts, things like that you guys would want to make instead of buying it from a merch store. If you find something on Tumblr or Pinterest or Instagram that piques your interest and that you want to make, send it to me because I really need ideas for DIY videos to make. So I'm happy to look at all of your suggestions. Also, if you get a chance, go and look at my Redbubble shop. I have lots of cool stuff up there, a lot of my drawings. Make sure to follow all of my social media. The links will be in the description. And yeah, see you next week.